Today we'll be discussing how to do some skin editing and some color grading on this lovely picture we took not too long ago of Marlene. Hi there guys, you're speaking to Johnny from JDS Photography. Our work can also be viewed at www.jdsphotography.co.za. Today we'll be discussing how to do some skin editing and some color grading on this lovely picture we took not too long ago of Marlene. We have a very basic nicely lit image here at the moment that we did edit in Lightroom. If you guys would like to see how we did the editing in Lightroom and would prefer a video on a basic Lightroom tutorial, give us a like, comment and subscribe to our channel because there will be plenty more of these tutorials to come. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by cleaning up blemishes, anything that might be dirty on the pants, and in just general, just a very rough clean edit. So let's start. On the right hand side you got your layer panel. I am going to duplicate my background image. The reason I do this is so I can always come back to a raw file, or the stock version of the image, and I can always do comparisons. So I'll do that. So now we've got layer 1. Now what I want to do is I'm going to do the basic spot removal and healing brush cleanups on this layer. So I'm going to start by using the spot removal tool. What this is, it literally is the easiest way to get rid of blemishes, dirt and anything you don't really want on the image. Okay, so for argument's sake, I don't want this beauty spot right here. All I do is use the bracket keys to adjust and I just click and it takes it away. Now 90% of the time this will do a really great job at removing what you wanted to remove. Really great for blemishes, really great for pimples, some extent really great for cleaning up blazers and clothing in general. I will be quickly doing a rundown of her face and everything, and I will leave some music to play in the background. I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Alright guys, so the spot removal tool will work 99% of the time. But what happens when it doesn't work? What do you do then? So let me demonstrate quickly what it does. So over here we've got a blemish. And you can see it's doing a good job, but it's not doing what I want, right? So what I'll then do is I'll come to the healing brush. Now the healing brush samples around the area and then it will clone it out. So it's very similar to the cloning tool. So I'll go click there and I'll just make it a little bit bigger and I'll just do that. Boom, it is taken out. And you can do it, you can also use this technique to remove blemishes and stuff like that. For this hair strain over this arm, the spot removal tool will not be good for this type of thing, as there are too many contrasty areas. So as you see, you can see what it does, and even if I make this like extremely thin and I just draw, it's still not going to be perfect. So what I then do is I come to the healing brush, I will start about there and I will just slowly drag right next to it and it's gone, as you can see. Right now I'm not very fond of this line here, so this will come out as well. Okay, we can do one here as well. Okay, we can do. Okay, let's do that. That's fine. So right, guys, we have removed what we needed to. what is the next step in this process. So yeah, we've got a very lovely image and we've removed a lot of the stuff we wanted to. But if you guys look closely here, and I'll zoom in and I'll quickly get a paintbrush. If you look by her eyes, she's got a very dark skin tone over here. And we don't want that. We want to blend that in with the skin. So the easiest way to do that is, I actually learned that through a YouTube tutorial by Danny Diamond, and I will link him in the description. But this is the simplest way I've seen, and it works amazingly well. You can use patch tools, you can do the dodge and burn technique. It's just, this I feel is still the easiest method, and it actually still keeps the textures there. Danny Diamond does go into depth on why he does it this way as well, and he explains the differences, but let me demonstrate. So what you want to do is you want to come here to your adjustment layers, you want to go to curves. Once you've got your curves, very important guys, you want to click on the symbol and not the layer mask. You're then going to double click on the shadow eyedropper tool, and you're going to tell Photoshop that you want to select this area right here, the skin tones here. I would say about there. Click OK. You're going to say no, yeah. Once you've got this, now Photoshop's going to ask you, what do you want to actually lighten up? And you tend to click on this dark area because we don't want this. So I'm going to click on the very dark area there, and it will give you this screen. You're then going to click on the layer mask itself, and you are going to click Control I or Command I, depending on which you're working on. Come to your push B for your brush, and here in the corner you can see that it's black and white, but our layer mask is black, so you want to use white. I'm going to bring this opacity down to, call it 10. Okay, I'm going to push 1 on the keyboard, comes to about 10, make it a bit bigger, so about there, and I'm just going to start painting. So now ready. Okay, it's not 100% just yet. I am rushing as quick as I can because we don't want to be here all day. And yeah, that's looking good already. So now if you come back, you can see the clear difference. So we'll do that. Now once we're done with this, I'm rather happy with it. Now I want to actually start dodging and burning the skin and getting the skin to look nice. So guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the curves adjustment to dodge and burn the skin and get her facial features to pop a bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, I'm going to go to curves. I'm then going to click on this symbol next to the RGB piece here, and then I'm going to click on it. Once I clicked on it, I'm going to go to a jawline here where it's a bit darker, as you can see. I'm going to click, I'm going to hold, and I'm just slightly going to drag it down. Just slightly. So let's call it, let's say there. And then I'm just going to push Control I or Command I, which depending on what you're on. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Go curves, click on the same symbol, but I'm going to go to the nose where it's rather bright, and I'm just going to lift up slightly until I'm happy. So about there. Same thing, Command I or Control I, depending on what you're on. Now, I'm going to go to this one that I made darker. I'm going to push B. Make sure this is set in white. I'm actually going to drop this down to, call it 6%. Okay, so I'm going to start painting about here, and I'm just going to start. Okay. So now if you look at this, you can see there's a clear difference, right? Then I'm going to come to the brightness one. I'm going to make the brush a little bit bigger, and I'm just going to start bringing that in and making this brighter, and then jawline. Okay, so now we've got, it seems to be cool. Then we're going to go to the nose bridge, and we're just going to slightly increase that. Go back to the darker one, and we're just going to bring the nose down here slightly. The nose itself can come down a little bit, so we're just going to darken this area slightly, and then just bring this area down there as well. So there we go. So I'm happy with that so far. I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the arms, except I'm going to make my brush a lot bigger here, and I'm just going to go on the side of the arms here where it's nice and dark. I'm just going to so it's very subtle, see, very subtle. And then I'm going to come back here to the brightness, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to bring this down and then bring this down, so like this. So what this does is it just brings out the arm a little bit more. As you can see, it's very subtle, but it works. Alright, so now that I'm happy with everything, I am going to just group all these, push Control G or Command G, depending which you're on, and I'm just going to call this Skin Edit. Double click on the name and then just go Skin Edit. Okay guys, we've done with pretty much everything we need to on the skin at the moment. I'm happy so far. But now we're going to completely smooth everything into each other, and it's all going to come together very nicely. We're going to use a program called Portraiture. Now, Portraiture is a skin smoothing software that makes your job a lot easier. Okay, now when I mean a lot easier, I mean it'll save you tons of time. I highly recommend it. I will drop a link in the description to where you can go buy it. So we're going to screw them in, and I've just opened this program. I've done nothing, and as you can see, it's already done an amazing job at smoothing the skin and getting rid of everything that I don't want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to redefine it. I'm going to click on this eyedropper tool, and you can see here on the side what it's selected. It's selected with the wall, the arms, the face, the hair, some of this wall here as well. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to click on the skin to make sure it's selected everything, make sure it's there. Perfect. Now that it's all selected, we don't want to smooth the wall and her jeans and her hair. So how do we prevent this? So what we're going to do is come here to output, and there's a create transparency mask. Now what this does is it pretty much masks what you have selected here. So if I click OK, you'll see in a moment what it does. So right now you can see it's made a layer mask. So now if I put that off, you can see what it's selected. And if I put it on, you can see it's normal. So now you ask, so how do I remove all the stuff that I don't want softening? Quite simple really. Push E, brings up the eraser tool, make sure the eraser is at 100%, and just start taking it out. We don't want this, so we'll just do this. I'm doing this very quickly, as this is a tutorial and I don't want it to be too long, so I'm just going to roughly do this for you guys. And do that, bring this up. Okay. And let's say I'm happy with that. Okay, okay, I'm happy with that. So we can just put this layer back on, and now you can see it's only her skin that has been smoothed. But now it's overkill. It's very, very smooth. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here to opacity, and I'm just gonna slightly reduce it. So I'm gonna make it like 65%. So now you can see it did something, but very subtle. And boom, skin is amazing. So now that I'm happy with this, I'm going to select these two layers, I'm going to duplicate them, I'm going to merge those two and group these two, and I'm just going to call this Portraiture. Now to get the color of the skin right, you can see here at the bottom her fingers are very pinkish over here. So let me just get my brush. We'll make this white and brush. So over here, So over here you can see her skin is very pinkish. Over this one, I want to use this layer to fix this red in the skin tones. Now the easiest way to do that is click here, go to your hue saturation. Now I know it's pink, so pink is more in the red channel. So I'm going to click on red, and then I'm going to take this saturation and I'm going to put it all the way. So now I can see what is very red, what is orange, and what is yellow. So now I want to target these fingers. So I'm going to come to here with oranges. I'm just going to drag back slightly so I can see just the fingers are selected, and then I'll come to the side and I'll do the same. Okay, so now these are selected, which you don't want, but it's fine because I'm going to just change the U slightly and then I'm going to bring this back. Okay. And then I'm going to push X here so it's black, so on my layer mask, and I'm going to put this at 100 and I'm just going to paint over where I didn't wanted the layer mask to take effect, because it's only on the hands that we want. Okay, that's fine. And then obviously on the tattoo itself, about you. So we want that, just like that, just like that. So now if you look, you can see it sorted the pink out. And I'm happy with that. That's pretty much how you use the Hue and Saturation tool to fix the skin tones. Alright guys, so we pretty much cleaned up the skin very nicely. We've smoothed it out, we took out blemishes that weren't supposed to be there, we cleaned the jeans up quite nicely. So now it comes down to the grading part. Now grading is a very personal touch that you do to an image. It's very personal dependent and what field you want the image to have. So for this image I'm thinking of going with a bit of cyan in the shadows, or with a bit of blue and some orange in the highlights. So the way I grade is I use levels and I use color balance with adjustment layers. So for argument's sake, I'm going to come to the adjustment layers panel and I'm going to go to levels. Now with levels, there's a lot I can explain with levels and curves. It's something that will have to be its own tutorial sometime, but basically what's going to happen is, let's say you go red, blue. If you drag this one blue, it'll add blue into the shadows. If you drag this one back, it'll add yellow into the highlights. See? This will add blue to the highlights, and then this will add yellow into the shadows. So everything's opposite. So red, this will add red into the shadows. This should add green to the highlights. Red to the highlights and green to the shadows. So it all depends what look you're going for. You can play around quite a bit here. But I'm going to go blue and I'm going to add some blue into the shadows. So I'm going to put some blue about, that looks good. Call it that. Then I'm going to close that down. So now we're going to move over to the color balance. This is where the grading really takes place. You get three options right here. So, but for me, I personally don't play around with the midtones too much. I don't want to play with the highlights and the shadows. So as you guys can see, we've got a bit of blue in the shadows. Now, I feel that a little bit of cyan in the shadows would go a long way. But we're going to come to the cyan bar here, and we're just going to drag until we are happy. And I'm thinking that looks good. Then I'm going to go to the yellows, and we're also just going to add a little bit of yellows into the shadows. So I'm thinking about -7. That looks good. And now that we're done with the shadows, I'm going to go to the highlights, and from here we're just going to put some orange into the highlights just to finish this image off. So we're going to go to the reds, and we're just going to bring that up to call it +9 as well. And then we're going to have to make it orange, put some yellow in here in equal amounts. And I actually think this is really good. Alright guys, now that we're done with the color correcting, we are going to move on to closing this panel. We are literally just going to group these, Command J or Command G or Control G, depending if you're on Windows or Mac. And I'm just going to name this grade. Boom. I am going to then select all of these. I'm going to say Control J or Command J and right click, merge layers. Then I'm just going to mute every single layer. And right now, all this is going to do is just give us a before and after. So That was before and that was after. So as you can see, this image came a very long way. I actually love the end result. And yeah, if you like this video and you would like to see more, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the section below to tell us what else you would like us to do. We have linked the music that we have used in this video in the description as well, and a link to the guy's channel, as well as Danny Diamond's tutorial is also in here. Till the next video. Later, guys.